Let's talk about Crystal Palace. Eagle football overdue in their accounts submission. Is this concerning for Crystal Palace other than the concerning play on the pitch so far this season?
Well, yeah, they haven't had a great start. Not as though they're falling apart by any means, but they're certainly not getting the points and the decisions falling for them. But this is more a problem for John Textor than it is for Crystal Palace. I don't know what he's up to in his financial engineering. It does seem that his initial public offering has not gone forward for Eagle football at the moment. Obviously, that's part of the reason these numbers are late. Um, no, I'd say it's quite concerning for Textor and Eagle Holdings, and there's now a big spotlight on what he's going to try and do. Now, of course, with Leon, which is their main asset they've got, as well as the Palace shares, that's a big profile club, and so we hope that these things will be resolved. He must be talking to investors. He was making a lot of noise just a few weeks ago about Everton, and it does seem to be coming home to roost that he may not have the resources. He doesn't seem to have sold his shares in Palace yet. Hopefully, that's the transaction that could be holding them up. Maybe he's waiting to have that finalised. We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, silence isn't good from Eagle football.
And let's say you're in charge of Crystal Palace. Obviously, Glasner had that incredible run as manager at the end of last season, winning many of their final games, beating some of the best teams in the league. But now you've got just 3 points this point in the season, your worst start since the start under De Boer and Hodgson in 2017. Where do they stand on Glasner and his future with the club?
Well, the rumours already circulating this morning about David Moyes going back to Palace, and I think that's premature. Look, I think, as I say, I've been watching the Palace games. They have not been getting taken apart by clubs. He's been close to getting a few results and has been unlucky in a few games. Those sort of things tend to turn, and I think they'll give him till Christmas. If there was going to be a move, my gut feeling is it wouldn't be probably till Easter, till they were in real trouble. And I think they'll give Glasner a real chance to turn things round. And so I think past Christmas, and then they'll review from Christmas to Easter would be my gut feeling if I was at Palace just now. Give him the chance. I think, as I've preached many times, stability is a great key for a football club. As you said, he did very well at the end last season. He can do it, but he's lost some players, and the club are aware of that. And, that could have been for other reasons beyond the manager. So it's unfair to penalise him so they've got to give him a chance. And I would say if there's going to be a change, it'll be one of those Easter last-minute survival moves if they're in that deep. But I don't think they will be. I think they'll be able to turn it round. I don't see Palace going down this season.
And understandably, Crystal Palace did not sell Mark Ahey this summer because they were expecting such big things after the end of last season. Are they regretting that right now? Because obviously his transfer fee is only going down by the day with his contract starting to run out.
Yeah, you're right. This is part of the problem, and it's part of the roulette of football. Is that you've got a player that you think is worth, they were looking at 70 million, whatever the number was with Newcastle. They held their ground, and as you say, his valuation is not there at the moment in terms of that sort of level. But that's football. You take your chance. Now that you could say is if they had got rid of Gahey, everyone would have thought that would be the reason for the bad start, that they'd sold too many players. So you can't win. I think it's got to be give them time to settle down. As I say, they lost a couple of key players at Palace, so give them a chance to reform. I tend to be a bit more bullish that he will turn it round. I don't see any signs of dressing room splits or anything like that. I think they'll get through it. And I think they've got a reasonable run of games coming up, and I expect Palace to be, as I say, not in the bottom three come the end of the season.